and welcome to another episode of Science Lesson. So today we are going to discuss on very essential component which keeps us all alive. You might be wondering, there are so many components, right? So what is the most essential component which thrives us to live? And what is the important thing that without that we will not be able to sustain life on our planet? Example, it might be the air we are breathing in, it may be water, yeah? Okay, so let's say we as Indians, the population has now reached 1.45 crores or even more. And the amount of water consumption that we require on a daily basis, where is the source? The source is nothing but our rivers, the water that we get from the rainfall. And it is not only that, we have to conserve it, we have to keep it, it's an asset. Why it's an asset? Because in the due course of time, we will not be able to get water readily from the source again. Now, what are the reasons that we need to conserve water? First of all, water, a very essential thing, yeah. Now this water droplet, you might be thinking, why ma'am has drawn a water droplet? Because even a drop of water, when we conserve it, when we store it, then we make a glass full of water. And why do we need to do the conservation? Because the maximum utilization of water happens at a bigger or a larger scale, which is done by the industries. Now the water is not only conserved, but it is being polluted by the elimination of the waste material into our river. Now if we are not treating our water banks, the rivers, the oceans, then where we will be able to get sustainable and drinkable water? Yeah. So basically it needs to be conserved. Or stored. Now assume that you are living in a society where I say that the president or the secretary has told or informed that you will not be able to get supply of water for the coming 2 days. What is your next action? What are you going to plan? What are your parents going to plan? Definitely they will bring larger buckets or drums to store the available water, which is from the tap or from the other sources for the upcoming 2 days usage, right? So now you will be able to think how to minimize the usage of water, right? Yeah. So basically, for conservation or storage of water, we need to understand the water which is available. Okay. So basically what happens is, it is available, but we are not utilizing it properly. Okay, we are not utilizing it properly. Now, rainwater harvesting. Have you heard of this concept which has taken place in most of the South Asia or South India? okay, and Chennai being the best example of rainwater harvesting. Almost 96% of apartments, they do this to store the rainwater so that it can be utilized in a proper way. Back in 2019, there was a scarcity of rainfall for almost 200 days, where the schools, the public transportation, the hospitals and many other institutions were closed down for more than a week. And basically, this was the necessity, the conservation of water. You can imagine the usage of polythene in our daily lives. So what happens basically, we as a community, we keep those waste or we throw those waste in the bins, but eventually it lands up in the landfill, and due to which the water is unable to sip through the ground, where the groundwater can be stored and eventually used in a later stage. Okay, so the rainwater harvesting. The rainwater harvesting is not only one important aspect to utilize the water which is available or which we get from the rain or rainfall, but we can also use in other aspects, like the water that flows from the filter, from the RO filter, is basically wasted and goes through the sink. That can be reused for washing cars or using washing utensils or watering the plants. Okay, so the RO water can be reused. So these are a few solutions where you can store water and reuse water, because water is very essential for life. I hope that we will all begin from our little home and spread the awareness so that it reaches the millions of people in our country and it goes beyond. Thank you so much.